You've seen them, the naturally gifted ones who never had to try. While you were grinding in the gym, they walked in once a month and looked better. While you studied for hours, they skimmed notes and aced the test. While you practiced your craft daily, they showed up casually and still impressed everyone. And yet, 5 years later, they're nowhere. You're still here, still moving, still building. Because talent whispers promises it can't keep, but consistency always delivers. You know the feeling. You start strong, motivated, on fire. Day 1, perfect. Day 2, still good. Day 7, slipping. Day 14, you've already missed 3 days. By week 4, you're back where you started, staring at the same goals, wondering why you can't just stick with it. You watch others succeed and assume they have something you don't. Better genes, better discipline, better luck. You tell yourself you're just not built for it, that maybe you're not one of the chosen ones. But here's the truth you haven't been told. Talent is a head start, not a finish line. And the race? It's longer than you think. Consistency isn't about being perfect. It's not about never missing a day or operating like a machine. It's about return rate. It's about showing up more times than you disappear. It's about understanding that the person who does something decent 300 times will always outlast the person who does something brilliant 3 times. Talent opens doors. Consistency builds the house. And in the game of life, the house always wins. We worship talent. We make movies about the kid who picked up a guitar and played like Hendrix by sunrise. We celebrate the entrepreneur who built an empire in 6 months. We idolize the athlete who just had it from birth. But here's what we don't see: the 10,000 hours behind the myth. The early mornings, the failures, the boring repetition. Mozart's father drilled him in music theory before he could walk. Kobe Bryant shot 400 jump shots before school. Talent might be the spark, but obsession is the fuel. And obsession? That's just consistency wearing a different name. Prodigies are built in private, celebrated in public. Imagine 2 people. Person A works out intensely for 3 hours, once a month. Person B works out for 20 minutes, 6 days a week. Who wins? Person B. Every single time. Not because they worked harder in a single session, but because improvement doesn't happen in bursts, it compounds. 1% better every day doesn't feel like much. On day 1, you're barely different. On day 30, you're still mostly the same. But by day 365, you're 37 times better than when you started. Consistency isn't dramatic. It's mathematical. And math doesn't care about your feelings. Small actions, repeated, become exponential. Talent is a resource that depletes. You're born with a certain amount. If you don't nurture it, it rots. The high school athlete who never trained after graduation? Gone. The brilliant student who stopped learning after college? Stagnant. The talented artist who got comfortable? Forgotten. Talent without discipline is like a Ferrari without gas. Impressive to look at, useless in motion. But systems don't rely on inspiration. They don't require motivation. They simply exist. You wake up, you execute, you move forward. Whether you feel like it or not becomes irrelevant, because the system runs independently of your mood. Build a system so strong that motivation becomes optional. There's a gap between where you are and where you want to be. It's called the middle, and it's where everyone quits. The beginning is exciting. You're motivated. You're hopeful. The end is rewarding. You've made it. You've arrived. But the middle is brutal. You're too fine to quit without guilt, but too far from the goal to see progress. This is where talent fails, because talent gets bored in the middle. Talent looks for the next shiny thing, but consistency doesn't even notice the middle. It just keeps walking. The middle is where champions are separated from everyone else. Here's a secret: discipline isn't about willpower. It's about memory. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your brain logs it. Every time you break one, your brain logs that too. Do it enough times, and your brain builds a pattern. Oh, this person follows through. Oh, this person talks but never acts. Your identity isn't what you say. It's what you consistently do. Miss the gym once? No big deal. Miss it 10 times in a row? You're no longer someone who works out. Show up 10 times in a row? You're becoming someone who does. Consistency rewrites your identity one action at a time. You become what you repeatedly do, not what you occasionally achieve. Talent shows up on the scoreboard early. The gifted kid scores 30 points in the first game of the season. The crowd goes wild. But by game 50, they are averaging 12. Meanwhile, the average player who practiced every single day, they started at 8 points per game. Now they're at 22. The scoreboard lies in the short term. It rewards flash over foundation. But time reveals the truth. And time always favors the consistent. Early wins mean nothing if you can't sustain them. Talented people avoid pain. Why? Because they've never had to endure it. Things came easy. So when it gets hard, they bail. But the person who had to fight for every inch, they've built pain tolerance. They know what it feels like to suck and keep going anyway. To fail and return the next day. To be laughed at, ignored, dismissed, and still show up. That's not talent. That's callous. And calluses don't form from comfort. They form from friction, repetition, and refusal to quit. Comfort kills growth. Friction builds champions. You see the highlight reel, the book launch, the six-pack, the promotion. What you don't see, the 4 a.m. mornings, the rejected drafts, the meals prepped on Sunday, the applications sent into the void. Consistency lives in the unseen work. It's not Instagram-worthy. It's boring, repetitive, unglamorous, but it's everything. Because while the world is watching talent perform, consistency is in the back room, sharpening the blade. What you do in private determines what you achieve in public. Stop asking, am I talented enough? Start asking, am I consistent enough? Stop asking, do I have what it takes? Start asking, am I willing to do this longer than everyone else? The game isn't about being the best on day one. It's about being the last one standing on day 1000. Talent gets you noticed. Consistency gets you respected. Talent makes people say, wow. Consistency makes people say, how. And how is what changes lives. Shift the question. Change the outcome. You are not your results. You are your habits. If you write every day, you're a writer, even if no one reads it. If you train every day, you're an athlete, even if you never compete. If you show up every day, you're consistent, even if progress is invisible. The identity shift happens when you stop doing things to become someone and start doing things because you already are someone. You don't try to be disciplined. You just are, because that's what you do. Behavior creates identity. Identity reinforces behavior. Talent plays checkers. Consistency plays chess. Checkers is fast, reactive, immediate. Chess requires patience, strategy, sacrifice. You lose pieces to win the game. You endure boring moves to set up the kill shot. Life rewards the chess players, the ones who can delay gratification, the ones who plant seeds knowing they won't see flowers for years. If you're playing for today, talent wins. If you're playing for a decade, consistency destroys everything in its path. Play the long game. It's less crowded. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means return rate. You'll miss days. You'll fail. You'll fall off. That's human. But the difference between success and failure is this. How fast do you come back? Do you miss one day and spiral into a week? Or do you miss one day and return the next? The person who misses 10% of their workouts but never quits will outlast the person who's perfect for 2 months then disappears. Return rate beats perfection every time. It's not about never falling. It's about always getting back up. Here's the beautiful part. At first, consistency feels hard. You're fighting against your old self, against comfort, against doubt. But after enough time, consistency becomes your unfair advantage. While others are starting and stopping, you're compounding. While they are looking for shortcuts, you're stacking days. While they are wondering if it's worth it, you've already made it inevitable. Consistency turns average people into anomalies. And anomalies don't compete, they dominate. Outlast the noise. Become inevitable. One day, you'll be tired. You'll have every reason to quit. No one will blame you. No one will even know. That's the day that defines you. Not the day you felt motivated. Not the day you had energy. The day you had nothing left and still showed up. That's the day talent loses and consistency wins forever. The day you want to quit is the day you prove who you are. There were two kids who started piano at the same time. One was a natural, perfect pitch, effortless memory. The other struggled with every chord. The talented kid practiced when he felt like it. The other kid practiced every single day, rain or shine. 10 years later, the average kid was performing at concert halls. The talented one quit after year 3, said it wasn't fun anymore. Talent quits when the honeymoon ends. Consistency marries the process. The runner who couldn't run. She couldn't run a mile without stopping, gasping, cramping, hating every second. But she ran anyway, every morning, 6 a.m. No excuses. Month 1, still terrible. Month 6, less terrible. Year 2, she ran a marathon. Not because she was gifted, because she refused to stop. Story 3. The writer no one read. He wrote every day for 5 years. No book deal. No viral post. No recognition. Just him and the blank page. Every single morning. Year 6, he got his break. Not because he suddenly became talented, because he'd written a million words in the dark, and the craft had quietly transformed him. Application and habits. You don't need a complete overhaul. You need one anchor habit. Something so small you can't say no. Write 1 sentence. Do 5 push-ups. Read 1 page. That's it. Do it every day for 30 days. Not to see results. To build trust with yourself. To prove you can keep a promise. Track it. Cross off the days. Make it visible. The goal isn't intensity. It's return rate. Miss a day? Fine. Just don't miss 2. Because 2 becomes 3. 3 becomes a month. A month becomes I used to. Start smaller than you think you need to. Then protect it like your life depends on it. Because in a way, it does. Talent is a lottery ticket. Consistency is a paycheck. One might make you rich overnight. The other will make you wealthy for life. The world will always celebrate the flashy, the fast, the overnight success. But you know better. You know that every overnight success took 10 years. You know that the people who last aren't the ones who started strong. They're the ones who never stopped. So forget talent. Forget being the best. Focus on being the most consistent. Because in the end, the tortoise doesn't win by being fast. It wins by refusing to stop moving. And that's a race anyone can win. If this resonated, you know what to do. Share it with someone who needs a reminder. And tomorrow, just show up. That's all. 1 more day. 1 more step. 1% better.